Thank you for joining us today on this new episode of SAHIC e-meetings, episode 12, Flying Again in Times of COVID-19. It's a whole topic now. So we have the presence today of two important members of the industry with a very specific experience on the topic. We have Claudio. He is a psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, and he's the director of Volar, and Juan Holste, operations manager for Sky Airlines Peru. So, Claudio, Juan, thank you so much for joining us today. Good morning. Before we start, today's topic is really interesting because flying again is something that is a very relevant topic for all of us, but for any human being, it's become a right to be able to fly beyond any business affairs or any other topic. That's something we all have within. So mostly we're people with the industry here, but I would love for Claudio and Juan to introduce themselves and tell us what is Poder Volar, or being able to fly, and what is Sky Peru. Good morning, SAHIC. Thank you for the invitation. As you well said, I am a psychiatrist for 25 years. I have been helping passengers with fear of flying in an airplane. People who have this phobia or this fear, there's a difference there, now also are afraid of COVID and the pandemic. So I'm working with teleconferencing and assisting passengers and helping them get on the plane. So we're going to talk to the commander who's also working there, working with airlines, and the tourism world is helping passengers to get in the planes, and of course the planes that are the stars of tourism. Hello again, this is Juan. Thank you for the invitation. I think it's a very important topic to be able to share experiences with different industries and with different standpoints. I have 25 years experience in the commercial flight industry. I am the manager of operations for Sky Airlines in Peru, and I'm also an economist from the UEA University. Sky is a low-cost airline that was born in Chile about 15 years ago, and in the past 5 years, it has transformed itself to migrate from the traditional model to the low-cost model. We have a certification of the affiliate office or branch office in Peru, and we're flying since April last year in domestic flights and starting international flights, which we're going to start right before the quarantine began. The biggest challenge we have right now is what we are going to discuss today. And the responsibility that we have in these affiliates is to be able to plan, or to have had no flights in the last 100 days, and to have now scheduled services and to provide them adequately. Again, thank you very much for joining us. And Juan, you just said 100 days without flying. So that means, you know, planes are on land, the staff are perhaps doing a lot of different kinds of work. You probably have to do a lot of work with the personnel, because we're going to talk about the individuals that get on the plane, but there's another group of people that have the responsibility of taking or to make us fly again, and to give us the trust that we're going to need, the confidence to be able to fly again. So that's an important topic there. And once the planes are on the ground, what did you guys begin to do in this uncertainty and trying to envision the forecast of 2020, that forecast, of course, went down the drain. So how are you working and how are you imagining that how is this going to work the rest of the year? Thank you, Arturo. This is a long question. I think we can divide it through the talk because there's several aspects to address there. But to understand the schedule or the timeline of what happened, there is actually no rules. There's no manual that has prepared us for this situation. There is no formula. So initially, we found ourselves in a crisis. In any situation where you don't want to be is the definition of a crisis. So the first thing that happened there was a short denial phase. So thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be over soon. This is not going to happen for a long time. But the first thing you have to think about there is to have a responsible strategy over something you don't know. And I could say that one of the biggest challenges I had in my career was to plan without a plan. So there is no north, there was no date, there was nothing. So it's like planning in short phases, understanding that it's going to be longer or there are going to be changes. So the first thing is to be aware that you have to be in a position where you can lower fixed costs, you can adapt, and you can be flexible. Those are the three keys that we envisioned before knowing what's going on here. So if you asked me 100 days ago, you're going to be operating or not operating for 100 days, I would have said no, never. That has never been seen in history. So the first thing you do is what we call the contention phase. We have to contain any potential damage and know how to prepare responsibly and strategically to be flexible and to adapt to the duration of the different phases, because what comes after